very good morning. It is 10 a.m. in Malaysia. I'm Jemima, she's Sashan, and at this hour we will be reporting about the December 16 flooding that happened across multiple states in Malaysia. Malaysians are no strangers to floods, as floods often occur during our yearly monsoon seasons. However, the recent floodings have been the worst flood to date, as Malaysia suffered downpours for 3 days. Flooding happened among 11 states across the peninsula Malaysia, affecting 16 districts. The effect? Many residents had to evacuate their homes and seek shelter on higher ground or evacuation centers across the states. Over 125,000 people have been affected, with at least 5 dead and 2 missing. The flood has also affected Malaysia's economic status, as according to Dr. Muhammad Muhyiddin.
Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Muhammad Muhyiddin. Well, the flood that hit this nation in the late of 2021 and 2022 has caused damage to living quarters, also infected vehicles, in fact businesses premises, manufacturing and agriculture sector. So as well as public, as you can tell, public asset and infrastructure has also been affected. So thank you, that's all for me. Thank you.
This resulted in an overall loss of around 6.1 billion and is equivalent to 0.4% as against nominal gross domestic product.
Now, during this flood period, the Malaysian government has suffered criticism from citizens due to the lack of immediate response to provide aid, shelter, food, and necessities. And in an effort to calm down these angry citizens, Ismail, our Prime Minister, has admitted to weaknesses in the federal agencies and that the government will allocate 100 million ringgit for house and infrastructure repairs and provide 1,000 ringgit each to affected households.
Up next, we have Sean to speak on the philosophical perspectives regarding the flood.
Good morning. My name is Sean. I'll be speaking on the two philosophical perspectives, rationalism and empiricism. Firstly, rationalism, the view that knowledge is acquired through intellectual thinking, without the aid of senses. For instance, on the 16th of December, rationalism argues, why did the flood occur, or why can't the issue be solved? When disasters such as this happen, people will automatically predict the reason for the issue. For example, poor drainage system, deforestation, or even climate change are all contributing factors. On the other hand, empiricism is the viewpoint that knowledge mostly comes from our senses about the world. For example, in this case, as the beliefs and experiences in the past, people normally have the stereotype or mindset of a flood and its consequences in their mind. As a consequence, people are having the knowledge about the flood after effects, such as causing human deaths, property damage, crop devastation, and animal losses and even health problems due to waterborne illness. So people will be aware of the possibility of a flood if the rain continues to fall due to empiricism.
Thank you, Mr. Sean. Now we have Ms. Eating to bring us the cause for the flood which happened during December 2021.
Here in Malaysia, we have experienced firsthand one of the deadliest flash flood in December 2021. The flood from the torrential rain in many states of Peninsular Malaysia over the weekend exposed the reality of extreme weather pattern caused by climate change. Here we have Dr. Sue, the climate change advisor to the Center for Governance and Political Study, to explain more.
Alright, so if we pump out carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, what tends to happen is that it will create a global seeping effect where the greenhouse gases would trap heat, and this will cause vapor as well as moisture. So when this accumulation effect happens, what tends to happen is a sudden downpour of rain in certain localized areas. So in the past few days, you can see in Malaysia the floods that has been happening, and these are the results of the sudden downpour of rains. Nowadays, it has become increasingly difficult for climatologists to accurately predict the weather due to this climate change phenomenon.
Thank you, Dr. Siu. Now we will be meeting with a team of philosophers to hear what Malaysians have to say about the recent flood.
We conducted research through a questionnaire which was completed by 61 respondents, all which were Malaysian citizens. From these results, we found out that 59% of the respondents thought that the flood was this severe due to
Yes, the poor drainage system, definitely.
34.4% of the respondents blamed it on.
The recent climate change.
These responses are rationalism, as it deduced the flood severity by providing us with logical explanations. One respondent stated that the severity of the flood was caused by deforestation and the lack of enforcements. This goes to show that he thinks in an empiricism point of view, as he may experience the inadequate development plans in Malaysia that caused deforestation, which caused the soil erosion and eventually floods. 27.9% of the respondents who don't think that the cause of floods was due to climate change shows that their personal beliefs led them to believe that there were more reasons to why the flood was this severe.
The respondents who chose the options to gather important belongings, call for help, evacuate, and ensure the safety of families and others made decisions to do so based on their scientific understandings of the flood. They viewed the situation through a rationalist, philosophical perspective. Those who said,
Maybe I will make a TikTok.
posting about the flood online shows empiricism since it is done from the experience or shared experience, as people currently share all their ups and downs on numerous social media platforms. These are demonstrating notions from the position of empiricism philosophy, in which they have experiences that lead them to have information to confront the deluge. According to one of the respondents' viewpoints, he has empiricism since his concept of supporting others is mostly based on his own experiences, beliefs, and personality. He would rather serve others than profit himself. Furthermore, two respondents claim that they would turn off the main power supply to avoid an electric shock and even prepare flood essentials. These are demonstrating notions from the position of empiricism philosophy, in which they have experiences that lead them to have the information to confront the deluge.
Respondents assess the government successfully throughout the research of the analysis based on their empiricism philosophical beliefs, in which their past experience with floods and the news that was presented proved how efficiently the government addressed the flood situation. So according to the findings, the majority of respondents, 29.5% evacuated the governance as one, indicating the government's inefficiency in handling the situation, while none rated this as 5. The highest rate of efficiency is 4, which is awarded by 4.9% respondents.
The Malaysian government had shortcomings in the flood response and should develop structural measures to handle the issue effectively. The government should implement measures like flood embankments, drainage routes, anti-erosion works, and so on in order to decrease the risk of flood that occur in Malaysia.
It may be argued that the respondents addressed the topic from an empiricism perspective throughout this research, since they responded via their opinions and experiences. Most Malaysians have experienced floods, whether in or out in their neighborhood. Nonetheless, propaganda disseminated the news, defining the public's viewpoint on how or what they should think and feel about flood, as well as disseminating information about the flood's causes, such as lack of government enforcement, which has stereotyped citizens' attitudes and beliefs. Thus, it is possible to say that respondents answered the following question from an empiricism philosophical stance.
Thank you, Ms. Hoi, for your insight on this topic. We'll be back on our next topic for the hour, COVID-19 and its impact on our environment.
I don't do really lah.
Take 1 minute, sir.
What's this?
Means
It's nice, eh? Thank you. Damn nice, eh? Where you buy one? Watson. Wow, you that expensive, oh, you buy shoes from Watson?
Buy Watson's Mint Bites now at your nearest Watson's outlet. Watson's, look good, feel great.